Today, we'll be showcasing how two different cultures from two different parts of the world can come together to create some amazing music. So first, joining us, we have Lucy Luen, international recognized guzheng player, and she's been credited as almost turning the guzheng into an instrument that you can use in the world of jazz music. Also joining us from Denmark, from the world of jazz, collaborating together. Could you introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Jacob, and I play the double bass.
My name is Nikolaj Kornerup, and I'm the piano player.
And I'm Henrik Holst, and I play the drums.
What I would like to know is, how did you guys actually get together? Whose idea was it to actually fuse these styles together?
It was kind of like our idea together. And then last year I traveled to Copenhagen and met Nikolaj, and we recorded an album and then toured Copenhagen. And this year we're actually on a tour right now in China.
And for foreigners who are watching this, they might not be so familiar with the guzheng. So Lucy, could you describe it to me?
Of course. So guzheng is one of the most historical Chinese instruments in China. It has 21 strings and with a pentatonic scale. So normally people play on the right side and we bend the other side, so in order to get another note. But obviously you can play with both of your hands on the right side. But for a guzheng, collaborating with jazz, it's something really unique.
Very unique.
Yeah.
So, hearing this instrument like for the first time live was actually a big impact. So we just figured we have to do something and make it work somehow. It's a very vibey instrument, so it's easy kind of to get into that vibe, I think.
Well, after listening to your music, your collaboration together, what did strike me is how seamless the guzheng was actually mixing with the traditional jazz elements. And that surprised me, actually. I was thinking that there might be like fighting for which instrument might stand out the most, but actually I thought it just mixed in really well. So was that your idea from the beginning, to actually make it, fuse together seamlessly? Or were you just like, oh, let's just see how it goes? How did it come about?
I will say that we've worked hard on fusing the two together.
Yeah.
And it is two different worlds, because also the instruments are different and they have different volumes and so, but they're also coming from different worlds and tonal worlds. And the tonal world of the Western music is very different from the Chinese tone system.
Right.
So in order to make this seamless sound, we had to write music to this particular project and write it so that it would both fit with this pentatonic 5-note scales of the Chinese music, but also to have this 12-tone system that we have in Western Europe, which you will be familiar with also. So to fuse those two together is actually what we're doing with this project.
We don't really, clash because we are listening to each other. Also about this project, we actually arranged some traditional Chinese tunes into jazz, like 月儿高, which is the high moon on the mountain. So we rearranged this one, a traditional Chinese folk tune, with jazz, and it went so beautifully.
How's the reaction been from the Chinese audience to this fusion of two styles, especially being from Denmark, coming over here?
It's been very good. People are so happy here. Responded very good to the music. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to play.
So what was the difference between the reactions in the two countries?
Well, to me, because in Denmark when we toured, not many people knew this instrument, but they actually got really touched by the music and of course the culture behind the instrument. And obviously in China, because people are more familiar with the sound of the guzheng, but they are not familiar with the sound of the guzheng and jazz.
Yeah.
So it was also something new to them as well. So to me, I felt it was new in Denmark, of course, but also it was new in China.
So do you think maybe in the future, people in Denmark might actually start fusing these styles together?
I hope. Like we have a Guzheng jazz thing going on. Yeah.
And maybe also some other Chinese instruments could be fusioned with the jazz trio.
And to fuse together two things that haven't been done many times before. So, interesting project it is.
Having other instruments, I totally think that's a brilliant idea. You know, we should have more like traditional Chinese music instruments with jazz and a lot of improvisation. Just, you know, create something new.
I found out that there's this melancholic spirit of Chinese music that fuses well with the Nordic melancholic vibe in music, because even though we are so far apart from each other, China and Denmark, we have a very soft soul for beautiful sounds and like this feeling of longing in music. When people hear in Denmark the sound of the guzheng, they hear the feeling of longing for something.
I kind of feel in jazz music, because there's a lot of improvisation, you kind of have your own space to kind of explore your personality.
That's also the beautiful thing about jazz, you know, there's not that many settled jazz group. There's a lot of, just different people being put together, and all that always makes like a totally new sound with different people playing the same tunes. And
the chemistry between the musicians as well. And I was like playing something on my guzheng, and like he would do something and he would do something. So I felt like we're talking with each other, right? With music.
How would you say younger people are reacting to traditional Chinese music in China?
What I want to make the younger generation to know is that this instrument can play, traditional pieces. It can play folk tunes. It can play like pop tunes from TV dramas, but it could also play world music and obviously jazz. It's not completely new, like guzheng is not new, like jazz is not new, but we put those two things together and I think we create something new from it.
And I will also say that it's very important not to think that it has to be perfect. I mean, we do many experiments, and some that didn't work out because of like the physical structure of the guzheng. But I loved it, and but then out of that comes something, and that's so human. That's what human life's supposed to be, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be from the heart.
Trying different things and seeing what works. Even if it's not great, maybe someone who likes what they hear might do something that takes it to the next level.
Yes.
So basically, you are a band and Lucy playing together. So what I would like to know is, what cultural aspect from your country would you like the other country to know?
Chinese culture is incredibly creative, adaptable, and open to learning from other cultures. We have a very long history of absorbing and interrogating elements from various sources, and this has enriched our own cultural heritage, like the piece we just heard, Yuergao. By maintaining the original characteristics of Chinese music while incorporating jazz elements, I try to create a sound that is both smooth and originally interrogated. It brings together different cultural elements to create something beautiful and new.
I'm come to China because I'm interested in Chinese culture.
Yeah.
And then there's like and you discover your own culture while coming here, because you see the differences, and especially while trying to do a fusion of cultures and music, you realize, this is actually what I love about China. This is what I love about Denmark, and I love to put those together.
Okay, thank you very much. In our case, from Denmark, being jazz music and traditional Chinese music through Lucy's guzheng expertise can come together and just do something different and inspire people to maybe pick up their own instruments and do something in the future.